Quet. She's here to speak for us. She's an amazing speaker. I don't really know all of her titles and infos. I'll let her introduce herself and her grand supremeness, but I just want to say thank you all for coming. I know the announcement was a little scary, a little blasé, but thank you all.
I know the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on. I know the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on. Now, how many 100 children can tell me where them people teach that from? And then 100 children, when they crack your teeth out and they call them a remix and things like that, but where they come from? And none of 100 children know any. How would 100? You know where that thing come from? Most people, yeah, they did. Some of them, back of yonder, where they hear them, especially this your month. It seems like the only thing people think supposed to show in February, the Dr. King. See how most people around here think only thing they're supposed to show in February is what they call civil rights movement. But they ain't first know say, right here where 100 children live, between Jacksonville, North Carolina, and Jacksonville, Florida, especially y'all in the church. There's plenty of work. 100 children see people march, arm and thing linked like this year, like we've been to do Saturday. Them things start right downtown, Charleston. That thing start across the water where we were in the crack we teeth for a few minutes ago, Johnstown. That thing start way down from my island, Centennial Island, down in Beaufort County, South Carolina. Because then yeddi people say, keep on a hand on the plow, hold on. That's where that come from. What they call the spirituals. The spirituals they there now in this your place called South Carolina. At the state music. And that'll be music for the Gullah Geechee Nation too. So see, plenty of time. 100 everything now. And you think, see, well, 100 get you. That way everything will get you. Well, it's true. Plenty of things for there 400 children get you. Plenty of things for there 4 I get you. And things like that. And the Gullah Geechee Nation for there 2,000. Because back of yonder people will come to the silence all through you and say they are nation within a nation. But here become official for the world. 2,000. But 25 years ago, I've been a steward as the queen of the Gullah Geechee Nation. People ain't been there, we crack we teeth and things like that for years and years for that. In these your place like this. Because the buckle them love me for don't do that. So rather was plenty of 100 children that celebrate where even this month for or know where it come from. So what is your month? What money is? What money is? There you go. If both of them is right. February celebrating Black History Month. There we go. So now, who right here know who founded this year? How many of you know who founded Black History Month?
Carter G. Hudson.
Wrong. Oh. Say it with your chest.
And I
loud and wrong. I thought you were there. Nope.
What's his name?
Thank you. Now say the whole name.
Carter G. Woodson. Oh.
Now you see. Now you hear what you said. Now say it with your chest.
Carter G. Woodson.
Put your handle back on you. Put your handle back on you. Still wrong. Say it right.
Carter G. Woodson.
No, put the handle on his name.
Woodson.
That's put the front. The front.
Oh, Mr. Carter.
Not
G.
no Mr.
Oh, Doctor.
Come say it. Let's go.
Dr. Carter G. Woodson.
Come on, say it with your chest.
Dr. Carter G. Woodson
is
the founder of Black History Month.
There we go.
Y'all need to hold y'all applause. Y'all applauding for all kind of wrong. Actually, and I'm going to give you partial credit, only because you wouldn't have known like that is not how this began. started as Negro History Week is what Dr. Carter G. Woodson founded. All right? So I give you partial credit because most people would have said what you said. But if you on Jeopardy or whatever, right? So now, Dr. Carter G. Woodson, everybody say Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Put his entire name and title together. Dr. Carter G. Woodson is the founder of Negro History Week, which started in 1926, which is why I told her I would give her partial credit because she don't look like she been around here in 1926. Some of y'all do though, but I ain't gonna say nothing. So 1926, I don't think she was here, so I'm gonna let her slide because I know in her lifetime and most of your lifetimes in this room, you've heard of Black History Month, but it did not start that way. It started off as Negro History Week. And so when I was in school, we still were celebrating Negro History Week. We was around when it started being Black History Month, okay? Now, so when it started out, the reason it was a week and why it was a week in February is because of Frederick Douglass. Who is that? Anybody know who Frederick Douglass is? Raise your hand. I'm gonna go to her. He was an abolitionist. And what else? I saw you raise your hand. What else you gonna add? You gonna add?
I'm not allowed to raise my hand.
She took your hand?
No.
She just been getting to her hand.
Okay. All right. That's part of the answer. But he's also known as the great. Anybody can fill in the blank? Yes, say it louder. So say it with your chest. That's right.
Great orator.
There we go. You can't say the great orator like that. It's the great orator, right? So he's known as the great orator because he was an abolitionist, meaning what did he want abolished? Slavery, all right? The enslavement of people, chattel enslavement in the United States because he had been enslaved here, okay? So he self-emancipated. Self-emancipation and somebody else emancipating you are different concepts. So here we are. We have Frederick Douglass that I mentioned has something to do with the founding of Negro History Week. And then the great emancipator. Who is that? Fill in that blank. Who do they say is the great? Yeah. Abraham Lincoln. There we go. So now, and what's his title?
60th president.
There we go. So now, there we go. The United States is acting not too united at the moment. But the United States of America's president, Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, you would say, well, wait a minute. Why those two guys, what they got to do with Negro History Week? I didn't know that Abraham Lincoln was black. Well, if you read J.A. Rogers, you might say he was. Some haven't read it, say he's not. Okay, so which one, I don't know, since he's not around for us to do DNA right now. But the reason that Negro History Week was founded in February is because those two men's birthdays were there. And so they sandwiched that week between those two men's birthdays because of all of what they did to release people from bondage. But that bondage in many cases was physical. The bondage that people still need to be released from is not physical, it's mental. Because if you believe a thing, I don't have to tie you up, I don't have to put you in a cage, I don't have to, imprison you in any kind of way physically. And you might not move from where you are. Because I've just convinced you, you don't have the right to move from that spot. I've abused you enough for you to feel you don't have what people say is agency. You don't have power to move from that spot. So for people who self-emancipated, their minds were just what Bob Marley sang about. They had emancipated themselves from mental slavery. Okay? And as it goes on to say, because none but ourselves can free our minds. So for you to come to something like this, it's important because you had to make up your mind to decide that it was worth celebrating. What y'all say this month is again?
Black History Month.
Black History Month. Whether you're black or not, or whether you could be black, like Lincoln could have been black and we just can't immediately tell, right? And so when you say that you're going to celebrate something, though, know what you celebrate. If you say, I'm going to go be a part of something, know what that is. Because you might do some research and find out that ain't nothing you want to be a part of. Or you might do some research and say, man, I can't believe I wasn't a part of this all the time. I've been missing out. Okay? So from 1926 to what year are we in?
2025.
Do you know that some people don't know that Black History Month exists? They definitely didn't know that there was ever a Negro History Week. So I'm always honored when folks ask me to come celebrate with them Black History Month. I speak all over the world, all year, every year. I'm blessed to do that. I thank God for it. But my favorite times are February in the U.S. and October in England, because Black History Month is celebrated in October over there. They just like to be different. There's no history for me to give you. It's all poppycock. They just decide we're going to do something different. They do it over there that way. We're going to do the October over here. Okay? And I've been to their programs. It was extremely disappointing and insulting because there were not black scholars teaching black history. And the entire point to Dr. Carter G. Woodson founding, what was it?
Negro History Week.
Right, was because the majority of the books that were published didn't have black people in it creating anything, as if we almost didn't exist. So he founded an organization which was called the Study for African American, of Negro Life and History. And over time, it became the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. And we call it ASALH today, okay? And so ASALH still has a big luncheon every year during this month. And that is the organization that really founded Black history as a month. And so this year, the celebration is about labor. And I'm even planning to preach a sermon at the end of the month at one of the churches in Somerville on that topic that they pick. So every year there's a theme to the month. But with that theme or without that theme, there's still so much work to be done in the manner that Dr. Carter G. Woodson wanted done, which was to study the history of who we say are black people, and then to write about it. He didn't say text about it. It wasn't no cell phones. All right? Write about it, and then make sure your works are published. So they started a Negro History Journal so that academic papers could be in there, and always teaching you about the success of someone. Always teaching maybe about people who were then now ancestors, what they had done, what they had accomplished, so that when the great libraries filled again, like those were in Mother Africa, in Kush and in Kemet to begin with, where Europeans pillaged them and took their books and took them back to Europe and then burned some. Oh, sound familiar? Y'all call it banning now. So that these stories wouldn't be known, they wouldn't be told, you wouldn't be reflected. So if you don't see yourself, you don't think necessarily that even you exist. Or every time you see that image in the mirror, you devalue it because nobody else valued it, because they didn't value you enough to include you. So that's why it has always been so important to my family, to my community, to celebrate Black history 365, 366. Like I told them last year, y'all think I black? No, I'm gonna be blackity black in 2025, and y'all in 2025 now. Okay? I am very proud, always have been, to be a black person because there's so much rich history and legacy. But more than that, I am blessed because we be Gullah Geechee anointed people. And to be elected 25 5 years ago to be the first head from the body of the Gullah Geechee Nation, the first head of state and queen in world history for Gullah Geechee people. Was an honor then, but it's even more of an honor now. Because I have literally been walking down the street, at the time you were with me, walking down the street in Leeds, England, and heard Queen, and I kept walking because, of course, quite naturally in England, I'm thinking their queen is they're just having a conversation about their queen. And I heard Queen again, and some said, you need to turn around. And I turned around, like, Queen Quet, I thought that was you. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm across the big pond. Like, what? You know, and so I'm like, yes, how are you? This and that, what are you doing here? You know, and so we were there, Elder Carlie Towne and I, with an international group of people who were working to try to get funding to protect cultural heritage in various places, South Africa, South America. We had all come together to convene, similar to what you're doing now, over the course of that week. We didn't end up getting the funding, unfortunately, but we formed some great partnerships and collaborations globally, and we got to see how the inspiration of how people's cultural heritage was keeping them alive and keeping their communities alive. And this is what we give our lives to, is doing that. And so it was an honor, like I say, in 2000, to have people come out in by the thousands to the place where one would say the foundation of chattel enslavement was truly laid in North America. It ain't far from where we are now. Anybody know where I'm talking about? It's an island. That's your hint. It's a sea island. Anybody have any ideas? Give you a clue. No, oh, you got it? No, you kidding me. Ooh, I thought you were going to say it. Start with the answer. It's not single. Think about it. I think you know it. I think you just said the wrong word, like how she did earlier with that last name.
He said St. Helena.
No, not St. Helena. Not St. Helena. We're closer. We're close to it. Where we are right now. Say it. Say it loud. Say it, shit.
Sullivan's Island.
Sullivan's Island. Sullivan's Island. Sullivan's Island. She was like that. Sullivan's Island. It is where 40% of all Africans enslaved in North America came through. And it is in Charleston County. Okay? Sullivan's Island has the largest South Carolina state historical marker to ever be put up and mounted. And so it was mounted there because we wanted to make sure, as big of a thing as chattel enslavement had been, people should not miss seeing that marker at any point in time going to Sullivan's Island. That was also historically a sundown town. Anybody know what a sundown town is? Raise your hand. All right, so now, let me come to you.
A sundown town is when it's not safe for black people or basically any person of color to be out past the sun or in general.
Past the sun going down. Okay? So a sundown town was, you could work there as a black person during the daytime. You could be a maid, you could be a butler, you could cut grass, you could shake my kids, you could be the mammy, the nanny, whichever term they want to use. But if the sun starts setting, make sure you're out and back across that bridge. We don't care where you go, you just can't be here. Okay? Why y'all think sundown towns existed?
So that the white people could get away with hurting like the people of color without getting in trouble with the law.
I love the way she said that. She said so that the white people could hurt the people of color and get away with it, not get in trouble with the law. And that's a perfect point, because if you were black and you got caught there at the dark, or you were melanated, but at that time they were focused just on black people, okay? But if you looked black, you could have been Latin, but if you looked black and you were there and the sun went down, exactly, they could harm you and they would be, quote, within their rights to do so. because their town charter says you wasn't supposed. They're saying you break the law. But what if this person just held you up working? Purposely. Right, purposely. And now you could lose your life because of that. The unfortunate thing is that in America in 2025, it feels like they're trying to make the sun go down on everybody. So that everybody will think like that. You see? So I'm glad that you all have proven already today you don't think like that. Because otherwise you wouldn't be spending your lunchtime in here. You would be outside doing whatever you do with your little boyfriend, your little girlfriends, just doing what you do. Okay? With your little phone, whatever.
No more viral. No more viral.
Did you say none of that?
No more phone.
No? They took them?
Yep.
Hold up, wait. The sun done going down. On the board? Yeah, y'all still come on.
The sun went down.
Early down. So wait, so all schools?
All South Carolina schools.
No cell phones. Oh, for real?
The sun is down.
So let me ask this. So your phones going down, but they about to mount cameras in the classroom. So y'all can't have no camera, but they can have a camera. That's how that works?
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, y'all that Michael Jackson. Wanna be starting something. Got to be starting something. Wanna be starting something. Got to be starting something. Interesting. But then I applaud y'all some more because y'all didn't come in here shaking and twisting. so y'all are detox already. Y'all are good. Because I know y'all generation, y'all be, y'all be needing that hit now. That boy, see? So you actually can live without it. You realize now that you actually can breathe without a phone? You realize that, right? And do you realize that you actually notice people now? You notice what's happening in your surroundings? That's very important. So in a way, I feel some kind of way about this. I feel like that's kind of good news. And the reason being is because now y'all are present. See, when I went to school, I'm sure when y'all went to school, they used to do roll call. And they would want you, Elder Carlie Towne, and what you had to say? Present. Present. Partner Stuckey. Present. Kwame Shaw. Present. Francois Grant. Present. Okay? We had to say that because they wanted you to assert yourself and also align yourself. You have what you say. Okay? Who doesn't want presents? Right? So it's a gift to be alive. It's a gift to have the opportunity to actually be in an integrated space, in an integrated room. Because remember, I mentioned earlier the civil rights movement. And that is where that song that I started off singing, people know it from that. And somehow they think that Black History Month is dedicated to civil rights. It should not be. There are too many stories of people of African descent yet untold that need to be told. So something I would offer you as an assignment for this month, because I'm already doing it, but I do it all year. Y'all have Netflix accounts at your house? Who got it? Anybody got Hulu account at your house too? You got other streaming services? You got YouTube? Okay. Any of those have Black History programs on. If they didn't have them before, they have special Black History documentaries just for this month. So the homework is watch one of them. Every week, watch at least one. I'm watching one every night, as much as I can. But watch one a week. There ain't but how many for this month? If you watch one a week, it ain't but 4. Okay? So watch one and learn something else. Even if it's a dramatic film, that's fine too. Okay, 688. Yes. It's an excellent film. You can watch that. But definitely do something and go around elders in the Black community. Sit, spend some time with some of them. Talk with them. Learn some of their story. One of the elders that came with me today of the Gullah Geechee Nation is Elder Carlie Towne. Boy, Elder Carlie, tell them children about this school up in that room over there, because some of them probably ain't never there.
My name is Elder Carlie Towne. I am from the Neck area. Anybody here from Union Heights?
Everybody heard of Union Heights before? Yes?
Okay.
Okay.
Union Heights is in between the city of North Charleston and the city of Charleston. And we call it the Neck because the rest of that is the bottom. So anyway, I'm here today because it's divine order.
Right.
It's divine order. It's really a blessing to be here. I went to Barnes Wilson High School back in 1965, y'all, do the math. And we had a wonderful school, and I'm so glad to see the Barnes Wilson room when I firstly came here today, because it tells a lot about how we were during those days. Yeah. We didn't have what you had, like a cell phone and a really nice place to live sometime. But we came to Barnes Wilson High School, and some of us conquered the world. We have doctors, PhDs, all kinds of people who went to this school, Barnes Wilson, and came out knowing who they are. And today I can tell you that I know who I am. I am Elder Carlie Towne, Gullah Geechee, anointed. And I tell you what, even though I've been here many years, I am still in awe of finding a class like this where young people come in to learn, because this is how I did when I was about 17 years old. I went and I sat to the meetings that we had. I also went to my chemistry class. I don't know whether y'all still take chemistry, but they had chemistry class in Barnes Wilson High School. And you know what? When we didn't do right, Mr. Wilson, who the school was named after, he would come and tell us, you better get back in class, child. You better. And I was like, okay, Mr. Wilson, because we knew everybody. Our community was still together. Today we are kind of separated because of gentrification and other things. But we still have the concept in different communities, like in Liberty Hill. You still find that family of the LeCues and all those people. And then you go to Union Heights and you find the Grants and the Martins and the Pringles. So we always knew that we had to work together, children. Don't you get weary. And so that's what I've been doing for the last many years. Like Queen said, we started the Gullah Geechee Nation. It was sanctioned by the community. And the elders were sanctioned by the community. And so that's why we're here. It's not about art, just art. It's really a Gullah Geechee Nation. It goes from North Carolina all the way to Jacksonville, Florida. And along that coast, you'll find people doing the same things they do in Charleston. Eating red rice and fish. Hunting. That's right, doing all of those things. So we are all still connected. So I just want you all to know that I always tell my young people this, because I want people to know it's not about just being Gullah Geechee, but it's thinking that way. You have to know how to matriculate in both systems. And I learned that a long time ago. I was in the corporate world for 40 years. And I've been in the Gullah Geechee Nation all my life. So I know how to act in the corporate world, and I know how to act when I get to my people. So I want y'all to know this. Yedda children wonder about what yedda secret be. Yedda rich with the Gullah Geechee. And if people think yedda lie about the one yedda be, I want you to crack your teeth about your yedda history. But be correct. Don't go Googling anybody who doing Gullah Geechee, because some people just come along, just get on the boat because the money was on the boat. But when me and Queen Quet started, there was no money. Queen Quet used that's right. That's right. There ain't been no bottle. So I hate to see y'all leaving, but I want you to know that we are here to educate you about who we are down here.
Thank you all for coming. We have so many